What's the story, morning glory? What's the word, hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of 90 Day Fiance Season 9, Episode 8, Get Off Your High Horse, the Eve and Mohamed review. So, it is the next morning, the morning after they went out with her and her friends, and the friends completely embarrassed Mohamed and interrogated Mohamed about his own religious beliefs. And then Mohamed and Eve got into that fight in the car on their way home about her attire and her wearing certain things like bikinis. And just a little side note on that whole argument that they had. Eve wants to make it look like she had never promised Mohamed that she would stop wearing bikinis or that she would stop dressing a certain way. I don't believe her. They definitely had that conversation. I don't know if she promised him, but I know that she definitely had told him that she was going to change her attire because when the season began, she was cleaning out her closet. She was getting rid of certain clothes that she felt like were not appropriate. So, and it was for the sake of Mohamed. So y'all must have had that conversation. You told him that you were going to change your attire. If you're getting rid of certain types of clothing from your closet that were more covered up than a bikini, then I know damn well, Eve, that either you had told him he would not wear a bikini, or you could have put two and two together and would have figured out that he would not have been happy with you wearing a bikini. So I don't understand where the confusion is. Eve, if you cannot deal with this type of lifestyle, why don't you just break up with Mohamed, send him back to Egypt, and go on and find you an American man or a westernized man, someone who doesn't have a problem with you walking around in a bikini and a G-string showing through your skirt. Just do that instead of the arguing and the unhappiness and the tears and the confusion. Just find someone who is okay with you dressing however the hell you want to dress. Moving on. So the plan for the day is to go to the mosque. They're going to go visit the mosque. I don't really know if they were going to go visit the mosque for her sake or if they were going to go visit the mosque because he just wanted to go and pray and she was going to come with him. I was kind of confused about that. So before they left the house, she asked him, or he told her that she was going to have to wear a hijab. And she's like, I have to be covered up? Eve, are you doing this for the cameras? You're dating a Muslim man. You visited his Muslim country. You should know a little bit more about this than the average American. That if you're going to go into a mosque, wouldn't you know, Eve, that you would have to wear a hijab? And if you didn't know, wouldn't it behoove you to ask him? You know, we're going to go visit the mosque. Is there a certain way that I need to dress? Like, why are you so shocked and surprised? Okay, you didn't ask. You act like you didn't know that that was the attire. So when he told you, just say, oh, okay, instead of, oh, I have to be covered up. What are you talking about? Yes, you're going to have to be covered up. Just go put the damn thing on and let's move on with our day. So Islam is very important to Mohamed, as we all can see. Now, no, I take that back. I take that back. Let's rewind. I don't know if we all can see that, because one of the things that bothers me about Mohamed, he acts like he's very devout and he wants Eve, he's expecting Eve to eventually convert to Islam. But Mohamed, you are kind of bending the rules a little bit with the fact that you're living with a woman that you're not married to. And you're definitely sleeping with a woman that you're not married to. So when it's to satisfy you or to make things convenient for you, you want to bend the rules. But then when it comes to applying the rules to her, she has to follow it to a T. Come on, Mohamed. So he associates religion with his father. He has a very deep connection to his religion because him and his father would go to the mosque to pray together, and his dad ended up passing away when he was a teenager, and so the whole religious experience to him, like it's comforting because it really reminds him of his father, and he wants to be able to live up to his father's expectation. So Mohamed wants Eve to study Islam, and Eve is really worried that eventually Mohamed is going to want her to convert. Now, my understanding with Islam, and my understanding is that most men who marry women who are not Islamic expect their wives to convert. Like that's sort of like just expected that they're going to convert, because I think there's a thing, maybe I don't know, I don't know what the word is. Isn't it like prohibited to not be married to someone who's also Muslim if you are a practicing Muslim? So I thought that was sort of like expected. I was surprised when Eve herself had said that she wasn't going to convert, because I thought that maybe Muhammad would have wanted her to convert. But when I saw Muhammad bending the rules for himself, I was like, oh, maybe he's not going to really care that she converts or not. But it seems like he is really cracking that Islam whip, and he wants her to convert to Islam. So Muhammad said that he was always clear about his expectations regarding how she was going to dress. And Muhammad says that he was not going to marry anyone who would not prioritize his needs and who won't convert. Muhammad is very young, but he's very clear on what he wants, and he's very adamant on what he expects. So I don't know how Eve is going to maneuver this, because she, as far as I know, she had no plans to convert at all. But I don't see how you can date a Muslim man and not think that there would be a possibility that you might have to convert, especially a very devout and practicing Muslim man. Well, devout in most things. And this kind of reminds me of Rebecca and Zaid from 90 Day Fiance season 8, because Zaid was not a devout Muslim, because he was okay with Rebecca not converting to Islam. I remember there was that one scene where they went to a bar or a nightclub, and she took off her jacket and her tattoos were showing on her arms, and he almost got into a fight with someone because they were looking at her kind of funny, or maybe they were saying something about her having tattoos or something, and he almost got into a fight with some guy in the bar. And he's living with her, he's sleeping with her, and so Zaid seemed like he really wasn't that concerned with practicing or following the strict guidelines of Islam. But when it came time for the Ramadan, he was like following that, and they had to get married at a certain time because they were not allowed to live together during Ramadan if they weren't married. So he wanted to expedite the wedding, and she wasn't going to do that. She didn't want to do that. So he wanted them to hurry up and get married so that they would be able to live together during the month of Ramadan. And I remember Rebecca saying, so you are a non-practicing Muslim 11 months out of the year, but for the month of Ramadan, all of a sudden you're like very devout. And that's like, it's very confusing to the non-Muslim person, when the one who is devout, or for the one who is in that religion, is kind of picking and choosing what they want. Then the non-Muslim person doesn't really know what to follow, what not to follow, what's okay, what's not okay. And that's the issue that we're having here with Muhammad and Eve, I think. So Eve leaves to go out with her friend Tatiana. So she's getting ready to go out with her girl, and Muhammad doesn't like that. And Muhammad is like, oh, so you're going to leave me here by myself? And she's like, well, yeah, I only want to spend time with my girl. And then Muhammad is like, we have this night where your son isn't with us, and we can, have this whole night to ourselves, and we can spend quality time together, but you'd rather go spend it with your girlfriend. And Eve says, well, it's not going to be for long. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean, Muhammad to me seems like he don't play around. He don't fool around. And then Muhammad has this way, like when she's saying something that he really doesn't approve of or he really doesn't like, he's like, okay. And he has this way, it's kind of like he looks like he's making a mental note. It's like, okay, so this trick is going to actually leave me here tonight and go hang out with her friend. Okay. And you just know that he's going to bring this back up later. So she goes out with her friend Tatiana, and Tatiana is basically like questioning her, like, if is this what you really want to do? Are you willing to change your whole life for this guy? And, Eve is crying. Tatiana's crying. Tatiana is insinuating that, Muhammad is using his religion just to control Eve. And that kind of bothered me, because it's like, you don't understand the religion then for you to say something like that. First of all, if he wants to control Eve, I don't think he has to use a religion to try to control her. It seems like Eve doesn't even really care about his religion, so he can't even use the religion to try to control her because she doesn't care about the religion. So I didn't appreciate that. Like, you really have to understand this religion to see where Muhammad is coming from. He's just trying to to me, it's like he's just trying to follow the rules and regulations of his religion. He's not trying to like control her. He's just trying to, he's expecting her to live like a Muslim woman. And I don't know. Eve, girl, look, I don't want to spend too much time on this because to me it's very, very simple. You don't want to live this way. Break up with him. Break up with Mohammed and go be with a non-Muslim man so you can do whatever the hell you want to do. And you don't have to worry about converting. And you don't have to worry about, dressing a certain way. Just break up with the man. This is not going to work. You don't want to live like him. He doesn't want you to live the way you're living. Just y'all part ways. This isn't going to work. But this is what the whole 90-day process is all about, I guess. So... And then also, the friend had said something like, she's so worried about how Muhammad is influencing Eve and changing Eve, but she's out with you. So how much influence could Muhammad possibly have had if Eve is sitting right across the table with you at this restaurant? And when the friends came and were interrogating Muhammad the night before and making fun of him and poking fun at him and trying to get him to break or whatever, Eve just sat there quietly while these women were embarrassing her boyfriend, her fiance. She just sat there quietly. So how much control could Eve possibly have? I mean, how much control could Muhammad possibly have over Eve when it seems like the friends are winning every single time? Because if he had that much control, she would have kept her butt at home with him. It's so frustrating when it's like Muhammad is the way Muhammad has always been this way. This is how he is. Most likely this is how he will be. Eve, you're the one that's, flipping and flopping in the wind. One minute you're throwing clothes out of your closet because you want to make him happy. The next minute, you're listening to your friends telling you that, your man is just trying to control you. And, this whole religious thing is just bogus. You're just flopping in the wind. You don't know what you want. When you're with your friends, you are having doubts. When you're with Muhammad, it's like girl, what do you want? Muhammad is very clear on what he wants and how he wants to live his life and the kind of wife he wants. He's very clear on that. You cannot even be in the same bathroom with the plumber without him losing his mind. So he's very clear on what his expectations are. So the only question, Eve, are you willing to change for Muhammad and be a more modest woman at the very least, a Muslim woman at the very most, or not? It's very simple. I understand you have feelings for this young man. You feel like you love him. You're obviously very attracted to him. But girl, something's going to have to give. Either you're going to become a modest woman or a Muslim woman or not. And if you're not, then he has to go back to Egypt. This is not going to work. Anyway, that is my review. 90 Day Fiance, even Muhammad edition. If you made it this far in my video, I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video. If you like this content, subscribe. If you don't worry about it. But thank you for stopping by anyway, and I will definitely talk to you later. Bye.